batter. center field, and now the out to Tucker. What do you think of third baseman number 1? That's going to be Meyer. Offline drive snapped by Rocha for out number 3. The Marlins turned 2 hits and a sacrifice fly into a run. We'll head to the bottom of the first inning. Virginia Wesleyan leads Trine 1-0. Trine coming up with that. Off line attack by Bible for number 1. Moving right field, number 15. On the put out for number 2. And sets the first baseman, number 19, Tyler Markham. Let's see the race. caught by Myers in foul territory for out number 3. No hits, no walks, no runs. Ahead to the top of the second. Virginia Wesleyan leading Trine 1-0.
Knight, Woodard, and Piotrowski due up for the Marlins. Found the lone run in their first at bat, the RBI sac fly from Tucker. Runs early, that is a rarity for the star senior. And this
Wanda just has that carry and falls in no man's land where Duel didn't stand a chance.
So Knight aboard, and for the second consecutive inning, the Marlins with the leadoff batter on. They were able to bring Prosser in the first. Can they, here in the second, double play opportunity? Not in time. They will get the lead. A runner, Knight down at second. Woodard safe at first, a designated player aboard.
With the fielder's choice getting the lead runner, kudos to you, hats off. Amazing work by Rocha over there at third base. She just continues to shine in her position.
One aboard, one away, and the right fielder, Julia Piotrowski, to the plate for the Marlins. Piotrowski, the graduate student out of Franklin Square, New York. Piotrowski lays this one down. Michon out of the circle. Throw to first in time. We'll get Piotrowski, but he sacrificed bunt, moving the runner into scoring position. But hold on, we'll see as Coach Elliott, Brandon Elliott, 19th season in charge, 3-time national champion, 21, 18, and 17 for his Marlins. And we may have our first review of the game. It looked initially that Duel, who came over to cover from second, held on to it and then dropped it. But we will see if they are going to take a closer look at this one. Our umpires for today, and obviously national championship on the line. Every call important.
It most certainly is, Kid. And one of the things they'll be looking for is if she dropped the ball in the transition of the throw, if it was already out of the mitt. So we'll take a look here soon.
Our first base umpire, Hector Torres-May, the man who made the call. And there is confirmation, play under review. And we'll take another look, as will we. So as it stands, 2 away. Piotrowski out at first for sacrifice bunt. Moving Woodard on to second, but we will see if that'll stand, or if the reversal would bring it close to the inning, bring the Thunder back to the plate. Here we go. Take a look.
Piotrowski gets the bunt down, makes the hustle. There's the throw from Michon. Duel with the grab. And it does fall. So we have one more time here, a little slowed down.
The throw was in time. That's not the question. It's
right.
If Duel, who came over to cover from second, was able to hold on.
Shout out to our awesome team behind the scenes giving us this look.
A very quick look from our umpires, it appears, is see if they will make the decision here. As it stands, Piotrowski at first, hoping she will be able to stay there. Sagerson on the other side. 21st season in charge, 16 regional appearances for his Thunder. They won it all in 2023. They were bounced in the Super Regionals a year ago, but they are back for a second title in 3 years.
Alexis Michon taking the charge in that instance there.
Review, the call on the field has been changed. The runner is safe.
So there you go. They're going to reverse the call. Piotrowski is safe at first. Duel unable to hold on, and now just one out. Jenny Wesleyan, the base runners at first and second.
At the end of the day, it was a compelling case on both sides. What stood out to me was after that she made the initial grab, she turned the mitt. It's kind of in an instant motion where she's getting ready for the throw. But I think that was a great call by Coach Brandon Elliott. You could tell that he was very calm and collected going over to speak with the officials. So, you know, I feel when you come in with that energy, that helps as a coach as well.
Reversing the call on the field as we head to the bottom of the order. Alexis Hudgens, the senior shortstop out of the Beehive State, at the plate. We've already seen what she can do defensively. Hudgens trying to get something going here from the plate. A .325 average. That's 17 runs batted in. She will call time here.
As the batter, you have to dictate what's happening. Michon taking time there, so looks as though Hudgens wants to take it back.
Able to locate that one as it evens 1-1. A huge at bat for both teams here. Michon trying to settle in, pick up this out. Trying to keep it a one-run game, but Hudgens, an opportunity for the senior to break things open. Hudgens able to lay the bunt down. Michon out of the circle, and she will take the sure thing to throw to first. But Hudgens does her job, advancing both base runners now in scoring position.
When it comes to developing the scouting report against the Marlins, you know that they love small balls. You can tell that Rocha over at third base was creeping in, pushing a little tighter than he typically does. I think left side of the field was especially anticipating that, as well as Michon. She was able to bust out of the circle, make the grab, check the lead runner, and fire over to one.
Back to the top of the order for the Marlins. Sarah Prosser, center fielder, led things off. An 0-2 count. Singled to left field. Was able to get aboard, ultimately brought her around. The lone Marlin that has scored thus far.
Prosser is such a hard out whenever she's in the box, especially as a slapper. You don't know what she's about to do.
Michon, long look, now the 1-0. Prosser laying off of that as the count evens. Marlins as a team batting .365, slightly ahead of the Thunder's .360. These two teams very similar in so many statistical categories. Prosser watches it outside.
Prosser, she really loves to work that left side of the field, so you can tell that up in center Lee, she shifted over to the left, trying to close some of the gap.
Long look from Phillips over to her dugout. Now Michon ready, going high again. Same result, 3 balls and a strike now to Prosser.
This is definitely a situation that Michon doesn't find herself in all too often. Just comes down to executing and pitch placement.
Prosser very impressive in the must-win game yesterday. Second game against Randolph-Macon, 1 for 4, a double and 2 runs batted in. Can't find it here, and it's a full count to Prosser.
Amazing work by Michon to get back into this one, just utilizing that lower half of the strike zone, mixing in that off speed, just continuing to put bats off balance when she has the right stuff.
2 aboard, 2 away. And Sarah Prosser awaits the payoff pitch. Just enough of it to stay at the plate. Certainly the biggest at bat of the ball game thus far, trying to keep the deficit just a single run. Marlins trying to find insurance. Certainly a chance to do so with 2 in scoring position. Prosser off the end of the bat over the head of Michon. Shortstop comes in. Nicely done by Byer. And she keeps it a 1-run game. 2 left stranded by the Marlins. Trine still looking for their first runs as we head to the bottom of the second. Welcome back. Beautiful Carol Willis Park Inspiration Field here on the campus of Illinois Wesleyan University. Big thanks to our hosts all week long. It's been a fantastic event. A great place to have the best Division III softball in the country. That's Debbie Hill, the star designated player, leading things off for the Thunder. Trine trailing 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. They went in order first time, facing the senior from California, Lauren Bible. Now we'll see what Hill, Rocha, and Lee can do. Hill at the plate leading things off, and she is certainly one who can get things going at Debbie Hill.
Hill most certainly can. Lauren Bible, we know that she loves the lower part of the zone, just unable to execute there with that drop ball. It's something that doesn't always feel great. You can see Knight reacting, grabbing her shoulder there, but shakes it off and gets ready for the next pitch.
Well, the 6-foot junior lefty out of New Whiteland, Indiana. Hill came into the circle, was able to steer her side through that 8-inning walk-off 10-9 victory over Linfield on Sunday. She can do it at the plate as well. I mean, she's such a talented player in a variety of ways, slugging .984. That is 5th in the nation. Takes as the count evens 2-2.
For Bible, it's no surprise that she wants to do what she can to keep balls away from Hill at the plate. So really just working on that outer half and trying to keep it lower in the zone.
Hill, slow roller over to second. Deitch fields and fires. 4-3, first out of the inning.
So far in this tournament, we haven't seen a lot of that off-swing utilized by Bible. We know that she has a killer changeup. She just has so many things that work for her in the circle where she doesn't necessarily have to pull the string back. She can get swings and misses in other ways, especially when she works in those breaking balls, those drops, that slider. But it's fun to see a different side of her here today. So just trying to work back in. First 3 at bats were all first pitch strikes, but working it unable to locate in these first 2.
Brings third baseman Macy Rocha to the plate. Rocha, the 5'10 junior righty out of Elkhorn, Wisconsin. Rocha fourth on this team, a .385 average, .463 on base percentage. With 2-0 count to Rocha. Already seen what she can do with the glove on the hot corner. See if she can get her team going from the plate. First 4 Thunder batters all going in order thus far to Bible. Rocha looking to change that here. 2-1 now. Center fielder Emily waiting on deck. Bible part of that 2-headed monster with Hannah Hurl. We saw Hurl yesterday in a must-win game. This is chopped over the head of Bible and into center it goes. Rocha with the first hit of the ball game for the Thunder.
We've seen similar hits in back-to-back innings. However, for Michon, she just had some help there, courtesy of her shortstop and Byer, to make the amazing throw and mark him with that fantastic catch over at first base. So here, while they might not be able to execute on the placement of the ball to the bat, if they're not able to get it on the sweet spot, at least these batters are able to chop it up the middle with some power.
One aboard, one away. Center fielder Emma Lee now to the plate, the junior righty out of Cottage Grove, Wisconsin. You got to look there in the dugout of Trine. Party hats are on. They've been on pretty much since they showed up on Thursday. They may have been on Wednesday. For all I know, they sleep in the party hats. It is a fiesta in their dugout, as it well should be. I'll tell you more about that as this game progresses. They have party hats. I saw a funometer. I mean, they're having a good time.
No, they most certainly are, and with this being such a tough mental game, that's exactly what you have to do. And different players notice this around the conference, right? They'll say they love the fun that Trine has and try to embody that as well.
And we saw UCLA at the Division I level, a very similar atmosphere in the Bruins dugout down in Oklahoma City. I don't know that one has the edge over the other, but Trine, I mean, there has not been a drop-off. The scoreline, it doesn't matter. They are bringing the energy, and their team very happy for that. As Lee awaits the 2-1 in the foul territory. Tucker did her best, unable to make the grab there up against the fence. Again, beautiful Carol Willis Park at Inspiration Field. It is 200 to the foul poles, 220 to dead center. And that wind continues to gust out to left field. Constant at about 20 miles an hour, gusts up to 32. Lee over to Hudgens. Hudgens across. And safe is Lee quickly down the line. It is rare that Hudgens has not been able to make an out here in the championship. But Lee, like a bullet out of the box, safe at first.
Hudgens had to react quickly there at shortstop. Lee putting the barrel on it, giving it some speed across the turf there, just hitting it barely a few inches in front of the plate. But for Hudgens, it was just hard for her to get a good hold on that ball. You could see it. It didn't really spin through the air. Kind of had to palm it over. So I think if she was able to get a better grip on it, but everything just happened so fast, and a fast base runner aboard.
Now Emma Byer, 5'10" senior from Rochester, Michigan, to the plate is the Thunder shortstop. As the tying run in scoring position at second, go-ahead run aboard as well. Just one out here in the bottom of the second. Best of 3 series between these two. 1 game today. 1, possibly 2 for you tomorrow. The question is, who will hoist the national title? Both teams have won it in the last 5 years. Trine back in 2023, their first ever. Virginia Wesleyan won their last, the third of their titles in 2021. Really the first sticky situation Bible's found herself in today. Can she get out of it? Over to second, picked up on the hop. Tag not applied. It's a good job from the base runner, able to get by the tag of Deitch, but does get the throw to first for out number 2.
And you have to give out a shout out to Deitch on that one as well. That's really tough because you want to make that play that's right in front of you, but I think as she was swinging for the tag, realized that it wouldn't be possible and then just fired down to 1. So 1 out is definitely better than none.
And now that tying run just 60 feet away. And Rocha, the third baseman, at third. Coach Donnie Dankelson comes out. He and his staff had the opportunity to speak with them. The pitching coach, Dennis Smith. Houston as well. And they've been, you see it, they work hard and they have fun. And they really do. I mean, that's their motto, but they live by it. And a lot of teams have a motto. Maybe grind hard or whatever it is, but they do just that. You have to credit them. We saw them in that game on Sunday against Linfield. They were down 6-9 going into the bottom of the 7th. Looked like they were going to have to play a second semifinal against the Wildcats, the top offense in Division III softball, but 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th tied it up, and then they walked it off in the 8th to book their spot here. That's going to go through. Thunder have tied it at 1. And they've taken the lead. The 2 RBI single from Sellers Sellers has been the hottest of the Trine hitters of late and comes up with a massive hit there to put her team on top.
Yeah, we knew this ball game was going to have a lot of punch, and we're seeing it right here. The Thunder responding in spectacular fashion, courtesy of April Sellers, who's just been absolutely dominant here in this tournament off the bat. I mean, look at that, working it outside, able to send it with power. Bible does what she can to get her mid on it, but just unable to. The spin it takes off the turf, too. That just continues to add to the illusion of the ball's flight path. And able to run it in, but two-run score.
Apologies there. That was the pinch hitter, Kennedy Huckabee, the junior from Kokomo, Indiana, in place of Sellers. And Sellers has been so good, was really fantastic in that must-win victory over Linfield, helping them get that victory. Sellers, the start in left field, just her second home run of the career. But it's Huckabee who comes up with the huge hit, putting her team on top for the first time, bottom of the second. And now at first, with the catcher Ainsley Phillips up for her first at bat, the senior from Yorktown, Indiana.
Bible just needs to ensure that she can help her teammates out of this inning. All it takes is one, and then they'll be able to switch out the gloves for the bats.
Trine bats doing it as Bible, you said, just trying to get them out of the inning. This is shaping up very much as we anticipated it would. Just back and forth between these two top sides. Both won a national championship. Phillips fouls that off for a 2-2 count.
And I have to say, Kit, the wind is really picking up here at the ballpark. You can tell it just in the players' hair, right, with the ponytails, the flag, different banners moving across. So with these picked up winds, anything can happen if you're able to just get your barrel a bit underneath the ball.
You see it gust at 30+ miles an hour headed out to left field. Now a full count to Phillips. Two of the most consistent programs in Division III softball in the past few years. Trine playing for a national title for the third time in the past 4 seasons. They're ahead 2-1. Payoff pitch. Phillips, that's going to go. A 2-out single up the middle. Phillips is aboard, and Thunder fans on their feet.
And with that, it'll roll over to the top of this lineup. Duel getting ready to join us at the plate here today in this ball game. Easily able to adjust, working in the back of the box, sending that low ball through the infield with some gusto. With the retrieval is Prosser, but just like that, runners on first and second.
Yeah, they are indeed. So we're going to see a change here. As you can see, Trine coming out defensively. And they're going to say the runner left early. Coach Engelson not pleased with this. We'll take a look when we return as we head to the third. Huckabee, the pinch hitter, comes up with a huge 2 RBI single. But said she left early, did the pinch hitter at first. That brings the inning to a close. It would have been at least runners at first and second with 2 outs as Phillips sent that one through the middle. But the results brings a close to the end of the second and brings the Marlins back to the plate here in the top of the third. Trailing 2-1, Thunder on top, both runs coming to the bottom of the second. Now the Marlins look to retake the lead. Their lone run came back in the first. 2, 3, and 4 up for Virginia Wesleyan. Second baseman Samantha Deitch leading things off up to face Alexis Michon.
Alexis Michon, she calculates every single pitch. She's taking into consideration what you're doing at the plate, what she knows about you from the scouting report, and even takes in what's happening around her. You think about the gusts we're seeing, 30-plus mile-per-hour winds. So she's doing a great job of changing speeds, also locations, and giving you a different look than what they probably noticed in their scouting reports.
Deitch handcuffed, and that'll go right to duel at second. Deitch down for the first out of the inning.
What's worked so well for Michon is she's been incorporating that rise ball, and it is absolutely lethal. That's something that she's sprinkled in over the course of the season, but so far in this tournament, it's been a lot of breaking ball action and low in the zone. So giving that sprinkle as well as the off-speed, her changeup is something she's been working on over the course of this season. So it's just truly paying dividends.
Brings the ODAC Player of the Year, left fielder Lacey Campbell, to the plate. Campbell lays this one down, and down the line in time. She can do it in a myriad of ways. Doubled off the left center field wall in her first at bat. Plays small ball to get aboard here. But we will see. Take another look. Lays it down. Throw to first, not in time, but they're going to bring Campbell back to the plate.
Looks as though when the ball went down, it went into the opposite batter's box. And Foot was out of the box as well.
So it comes back to the plate, an 0-1 count, one away. Here's another look. Campbell thought she had a bunt single, not to be.
Yeah, but there's that back leg outside the box making contact. So great placement, good back control. Just, it's tough working from the left side at times because you're having your movement towards the pitcher as well.
Fights off the 0-2. Campbell first in the nation with 68 runs scored, third in stolen bases. Always a threat if they're able to get her aboard. Finds herself down in the count. Watches it high, ball one here. Tucker, our first baseman in conference, Rookie of the Year, waiting on deck. With the heart of the Virginia Wesleyan lineup. Trying to respond after conceding their lead. They struck first, and then Trine able to respond to take their first lead in the bottom of the second.
Working in with the breaking ball there, able to draw that swing and miss. Swinging out of her shoes was Campbell.
Campbell back in, long look for Michon. Now the 1-2, setting to the outside was Phillips. The pitch followed her out there, even it at 2-2.
Michon always adapts during the course of an at-bat, so if she sees something that works, she's not shy to try to pound that part of the plate again or give the same spin to the ball.
Michon, the best strikeout to walk ratio in the country, and by some measure. Finds the bottom of the zone. Campbell down, looking. Michon with her first strikeout in the ball game.
Moving up, look back for you right here. Campbell thought she was in control of this one, getting the bunt down. Foot was outside of the box, but has to work again against one of the toughest pitchers in the nation, keeping it low and just keeping her guessing. And look at that poker face over there in the circle. She is locked in.
Michon picking up the first two outs in quick succession. Now Morgan Tucker takes the first pitch high into right. Joe Trine with the grab. The Marlins go in order. Trine coming up, looking to add to their lead in the bottom of the third. Paints the outside corner. Pretty pitch from Bible. Bring it to 2-2. It's the fourth all-time meeting between these two, and pretty much every time they've gotten together, it has been a one-run game. It was the first time they met in 2016. Trine won 2-1. Last time they met in 2023, Virginia Beach. Virginia Wesleyan won by a single run. Deitch easily there for the first out, 4-3.
Deitch can always read the ball off the barrel well. You can see it just kind of skips a few inches out from in front of her and is able to field it very cleanly to fire it over to 1 to get the out.
Back to the top of the order for the Thunder. Whitney Duel. Their second baseman comes up, lined out to the pitcher in her first at bat. Freshman from West Lafayette, Indiana. Both teams with an off day yesterday. Trine, in fact, having 2 off days here in the championship. That's something they've not experienced, and I think they're pretty happy to have that.
Exactly. Back in 2023 when they won the national championship, they had to play 8 games through 7 days. And it really was due to a lot of those weather delays. So it turned out that every other team was able to have an off day besides them. It made it tough for the time they put in on the field. So to be able to have that clarity, the moment to put the brakes on and develop game plans and rest was momentous coming into this one.
Duel off the end of the bat, fouls it off, and what a difference that makes. Again, trying the lone team undefeated here. Victories in all 3 of their games over Redlands, Rowan, and that impressive 8-inning walk-off win on Sunday over Linfield. Off the end of the bat, into shallow left, as Hutchins drops back from short. It's 2 away.
When it comes to some of the big hitters here that we see in the Trine roster, you'll see every now and again pitchers try to incorporate that off speed. So I think it's a big part of their mentality too, that they try to sit back and wait on it if they know that it's coming. So able to get a hold of it, but just underneath it, identifying the off speed. So that'll lead to out number 2.
As the right fielder Joe Trine comes to the plate, 2 down, no one aboard. Trine, the junior from Kokomo, Indiana. We knew it was going to be a great matchup in the circle. Lauren Bible and her counterpart Alexis Michon. That has certainly proven to be the case. Both teams finding at least 1 run early. Trine watches that one. Finds herself quickly behind 0-2. Thunder went in order in the first, in danger of doing so here again in the third.
Bible's had a hard time this inning locating a first pitch strike, so in this at-bat, she's really worked it back in.
Held on to as Trine goes down 1, 2, 3 through 3. Thunder clinging to a 1-run lead. Welcome back. Beautiful day here. A breezy day in the land of Lincoln. Glad to have you with us on NCAA.com. Alongside Jenna Rose, I'm Kit McConico, and a very warm welcome wherever you may be joining us from. Glad to have you. Those of you in the Commonwealth and the Hoosier State, and those of you from all places across this beautiful country and across the world. Glad to have your company. First game in this best-of-3 championship final series. As Mackenzie Myers takes the first pitch into shallow right, a collision as it is ultimately caught by Whitney Duel, but Joe Trine, the right fielder, took a little bump there from her second baseman. Ultimately both okay and able to hold on for the first out.
When it comes to who has priority over those soft flies or just pop flies in general, up first, it is always your outfielder. So if you're hearing them call you off, you have to try to get back. Duel there was pretty confident and able to make the grab. So at the end of the day, that's what you want, is to get the out. But you have to avoid those mistakes because they can be costly.
Olivia Knight to the plate. Stops the initial offering foul. Does the Marlins catcher. Knight 1 for 1. Having a bloop to single into shallow right center in her first at bat. Both teams with 3 hits. Trine got 1 run advantage early. Michon evens the count 1-1. Two of the top pitchers we've seen here in the championship. Both have been incredibly impressive in their outings in the circle. Senior from Connecticut. A long look in. Finding her spot. Even without the sunglasses, I don't think you want to play poker against Alexis Michon.
No, you certainly do not, which is always why it's so fun seeing her do interviews, because she's so lighthearted, seems very kind, and then she's able to put on this persona, equal parts of her as well when she's in the circle, that just absolutely dominates.
You talk about flipping the switch. If she flips it here, picks up her second strikeout as Knight chases it high for out number 2.
That's been her game plan here against Knight, just to work her up in the zone, later in the count, and off big time here to get the out. Quickly 2 up, 2 down. This is something that Trine needs as they continue to try to ride that momentum that they have in the bottom of the second, putting up 2 runs.
Well, the runs came early. Virginia Wesleyan found their lone run back in the first. Trine, their only runs in the second. Neither team has been able to add to it since, as the pitcher's really starting to settle in. Woodard, the designated player, takes the initial offering for a strike. Does Jocelyn Wood, the senior from Temecula, California.
Woodard has introduced herself over the last few games, someone that we hadn't seen off rip in the beginning, but has certainly made a statement.
Has indeed. She's been impressive coming in, getting some big minutes. We saw her in that semifinal series against their Old Dominion Athletic Conference foe, Randolph-Macon. Helped them book their spot here in the championship final. Woodard trying to keep the inning alive and keep the Marlins from going in order for the second consecutive inning. Woodard underneath it, will stay in the infield. No trouble for Michon. 1, 2, 3, go the Marlins in the top of the 4th. Thunder coming up. Heart of the order, 3, 4, and 5 in the bottom of the inning.
Cleaning up the bottom of the 4th for Trine.
All smiles from Alexis Michon and company as she picked up her 200th strikeout of the season. Came into the game with 198, has picked up 2. Olivia Knight, the Marlins catcher, her 200th this season. Congratulations to her. What a feat in the circle. Her team on top by a run and back to the plate in the bottom of the 4th. Heart of the order, Markham, Hill, and Rocha up for the Thunder.
When it comes to Alexis Michon, I mean, you can tell that sign was pre-made. They knew it was going to happen today. She's somebody who just time and time again shows up for her team in huge ways. We've seen a completely different side of her here today in the circle, where she stays the same level of concentrated, continues to attack the strike zone, but pulls from her arsenal, especially with that rise in off speed.
Markham at the plate in the 3-hole, the first baseman. Flat out in foul territory to Myers at 3rd to end the first, part of a 1-2-3 inning. She, Hill, and Rocha trying to get things going, extended this Thunder lead in the bottom of the 4th. 1-2 count now. As we said, pitchers really starting to settle in. Bible able to retire the Thunder in order back in the 3rd. Our Marlins have gone in order in the last 2 innings they've been at the plate to face Michon. Change up. Catches Markham, and she goes down as Bible picks up her second strikeout.
Bible, she's coming in and she's turning up the heat. 3 straight strikes in this at-bat. She is not messing around. And hey, she's got that stuff too, just like Michon, keeping him off balance.
Senior out of Danville, California, doing her job. She's seen what Michon can do. Wants to show off her stuff in the circle. Certainly doing so with the designated player, Debbie Hill, to the plate. Hill grounded out to second to lead off the second. This will skip away from Knight. As we said, all runs coming early, very tight of late. Pitchers doing their job. The previous meetings are any indication, this could very well come down to a single run. Bender trying to find a bit of insurance. Hill off the end of the bat, into left center, and that is over the glove of Campbell. Unable to make the grab. Hill cruises into second. A one-out stand-up double for Debbie Hill in Trine.
Hill, she just takes advantage of the situation in every at-bat. She always puts on quite the show. Quiet load, gets into her stride, and adjusts to the plane of the pitch, working her barrel low in the zone, sending that with some gusto over to that left center wall. Campbell just unable to get a hold of it. She's a rocket, able to see the ball well, but timing didn't work out.
We will see pinch runner for Hill at second as Mila Stepanovic comes on. Stepanovic, the freshman from Munster, Indiana, representing insurance there at second. As Macy Rocha, the third baseman, digs in at the plate for the Thunder. Rocha 1-for-1, chopped a single over the head of Bible in her first at bat. Big cut for strike one.
That's a big statement by Bible there to set this at bat and set the tone, especially with the runner on second.
Rocha into deep right field, and it's gone. A two-run home run from Macy Rocha, and the Thunder on top, 4-1.
Macy Rocha, she is phenomenal as the third baseman here for the Thunder, and she really brought the boom here in this at-bat. I mean, after a big swing and miss, we can tell that was a monster cut. She was working in that home run swing and was able to get a piece of one here. Keeps her head on the ball. Great positioning in the box to identify any movement or breaks, but immediately identified and swung away with power. Two-run home run. Now a 4-1 ball game in favor of the Thunder.
And the party is in full force. Rocha hitting the home run hat. Her family making the trip down from Wisconsin to see her 10th home run of the season. Could not have come at a better time. The largest lead of the ball game now for the Thunder, up 4-1 and just one out in the bottom of the fourth. Emily now, the center fielder at the plate. Lee 1-for-1, singled to short, her first at bat. Chases it high for 1-1. Jenna, we said it early on. I mean, that wind gusting out. We knew there were going to be some balls leaving the park today, and there have been indeed. Rocha just got a hold of it and sent it for a ride.
Bible now really doing her best to mix speeds and eye levels to ensure that that does not happen in back-to-back at-bats. We know here for the Thunder, this is a team that has that extra base pop. We've seen it all over the course of the season. So doing what she can to try to avoid hanging anything over the plate.
Slugging .607 as a team are the Thunder. They can swing the stakes. Lee goes down looking. Third strikeout for Bible, second here in the inning.
Lee was not happy about that one. You could tell she was expressing herself running back to the dugout. But this sets the table now for Meyer. She's fielded her position well over at short, but just has to bring the heat here in the box.
Meyer 0-for-1. Grounded out to second in her lone at bat. See what the senior from Michigan can do if she can keep the inning alive. So a two spot in the second, two more here in the fourth. Trine extending their lead to 3 runs. Off the glove of Deitch, unable to make the play. Second baseman Byer on to second and sliding safely in a 2-out double from Emma Byer.
Byer just putting her heads up base running on display. They're able to stretch that one out all the way over to 2. Bible trying to work her in with that breaking ball. Deitch does what she can to make the stop. But Easy does it. Stand-up double.
Byer continuing to do work in the bottom half of the order for the Thunder. We've seen it all season and all throughout the championship. They are doing their job. Now we'll see if we can continue here in the 8-hole. A big cut there from Sellers. Sellers, the left fielder, was pinch hit for by Huckabee. Sellers with her first at bat thus far. Had an impressive performance Sunday, and that walk-off victory over Linfield did Sellers.
And Sellers has to be really careful here. I can tell that she wants to make something happen, especially after ending a few innings ago with leading off too early.
Yeah, Sellers just her second home run of the season in that victory over Linfield. He said it. Really tried to get a hold of that one, could not, and goes down swinging. But it's the 2-run bomb from Rocha that extends the Thunder's lead, 4-1 Trine as we head to the 5th.
Impeccable timing by Rocha, not just in her swing and attack, but also timely hitting. We'll be back after this.
Welcome back. A breezy day here in beautiful Bloomington, Illinois. A lovely campus of Illinois Wesleyan University, home of the Titans. Great host this last week, the top Division III softball in the country. Been overcast, and that breeze gusting up to 30 miles an hour heading out. Certainly an impact today. And the Marlins have found themselves in a hole trailing 4-1, and coming up here in the top of the 5th. It'll be 8-9-1 for Virginia Wesleyan. Again, game 1 of a best-of-3 series. We will have 1 today, 1, possibly 2 tomorrow to determine the 2025 Division III national champion. Piotrowski leading things off. Piotrowski, a bunt single. Thought she was out, was called out initially, but upon review, reversed the call, and she was safe at first as Duel, who came over to cover, could not hold on. And I'll send this one into foul territory, but no chance for the Thunder to make a play.
Alexis Michon, she works in the rise and then has another elevated pitch there. That's exactly what she got night out on, swinging and missing for her 200 strikeouts so far on the season. Taking a look at her career here with Trine, in 2023 she had a total of 122 strikeouts. It was 173 in 2024, so here getting to that number 200 in 2025 just says so much about her growth and her accuracy.
Senior from Montville, Connecticut, just continues to improve and misses high and away. It's a 3-1 count now to Piotrowski. Shortstop Hutchins waiting on deck, and back to the top of the order with the center fielder Prosser.
And even going and looking at her walk totals as well, only 18 walks in 2023, 21 in 24, and not too many here today.
Piotrowski trying to get aboard, and she will. Sends that one over the head of Byer at short, all the way to the wall. Trips on first, and Piotrowski, who would have had a sure double, will be safe at first, but caught a foot on the bag at first base. So unable to turn that into a double, the leadoff batter for the Marlins here in the top of the 5th.
Piotrowski needing to walk that one off for a minute. You know, it's never good when the hands are on the knees after a moment like that, but is able to work her barrel low to get that ball in the lower half of the strike zone. And it seems as she's running down to first, you always want to try and give yourself some time to round the bag if you know you have an opportunity. For her, it was just a quick hesitation and pulling the trigger to try to make that turn possible, and I think that's what tripped her up a little bit, trying to round at one.
Yeah, good to see all smiles there from the Empire State native. No worse for wear. She is aboard with a leadoff single. Now the bottom of the order coming up in the shortstop, Alexis Hudgens, the Beehive State native, but it's going to be a pinch hitter, it appears, in the 9-0 in place of Hudgens. As Brooke Powell, the junior from Chesterfield, Virginia, comes on. So Powell to the plate, her first at bat of the ball game, 32nd of the season, a .387 average for Powell.
She'll watch that one come in for strike number one. When it comes to first pitch strike percentage for Alexis Michon, that's just something that she continues to excel at. We didn't really necessarily see that in the first few innings of this game, but she's dialing back into what makes her so unique.
Seen Powell at the plate as a pinch hitter in the championship. If she can come up with something here. Powell back in. A 1-1 count for the junior. And off the hands, back for strike two. We just had a feeling coming into this that we were going to see the Thunder and the Marlins at some point. Talk about these two teams have been so successful of late. Virginia Wesleyan, 3 titles since 2017. Their last in 2021. Trine won it in 2023. Michon unable to make a play, but coming in is Beyer from short. And she will, as Powell is out at first for the first out of the inning.
Beyer decides to field that one off the side on the hop. That just allows her to continue to push her momentum towards first and make a quick, clean throw, firing down one.
The common foe between these two is they both faced off against Linfield, a top-hitting team in the country. The Wildcats out of McMinnville, Oregon, broke their own record with 104 home runs this season. Virginia Wesleyan beat them 8-4 back on Friday. And then we mentioned that absolutely incredible game in the semifinal yesterday. The 8-inning, 10-9 walk-off victory for trying to book their spot here in the final. Prosser at the plate, representing the top of the order. 1 for 2, singled in her first at bat. Chases it outside.
Even though this is a 4-1 ball game, Rocha just helping out with that 2-run blast, it still feels so neck and neck when it comes to the tension that's in the air, and it's almost tit for tat with what's happening out on the field here today.
Prosser trying to stay alive and get aboard. Michon going high. No, you're exactly right. Certainly does not feel like the Thunder have a 3-run lead at this point.
No, every movement definitely feels very calculated, and especially against a team like the Marlins, you know that you can't let off the gas. You need those insurance runs. You need to continue to get those outs.
Michon with the 1-2, just outside to even the count. I think Michon very cognizant of that fact. She respects this Marlins lineup, as good pitchers do. They understand that their opponents, particularly the caliber of Virginia Wesleyan, they can get right back into this with a single swing of the bat. Prosser down swinging, third strikeout for Alexis Michon.
I was even going to make the comment there, too. You said that they didn't do anything with their swing. And also when it comes to getting the bunt down, too, right? This is just a team that continues to keep the defense guessing. Even when it comes to small ball and manufacturing runs, they could do it in counts that surprise you or do it in ways where you just would not have suspected that it would happen.
Deitch at the plate, 2 away. Second baseman 1 for 2. Excuse me, 0 for 2 is almost blooped a single to second, but it was picked up by Duel in her last at bat, part of a 1-2-3 third inning. After a leadoff single from Piotrowski, Marlins in danger of getting out of this inning with nothing. They have not found a run since their first at bat. Deitch off the hands. Duel there. A runner left stranded. Piotrowski after a leadoff single and able to bring her around. Still a 3-run Thunder lead. Thunder fans that have made the 4-hour trip over from Angola, Indiana are fired up, bringing the energy as they have all week long here at the championship as they look to extend their 3-run lead in the bottom of the 5th. It'll be 9-1-2 due up for the Thunder to face Lauren Bible. Bible back in the circle now, her 5th inning of work. Through the first 4, has given up 4 runs on 5 hits, 1 error from the Marlins defense. Phillips at the plate, 0 for 1, grounded out to third in her, or excuse me, to second in her first at bat.
We can see there Phillips really crowding the plate, just trying to X out that outer half.
Bible evens the count 1-1. Trying to keep this deficit to 3. Give up the 2-run home run to Rocha back in the 4th. Extended what was a 1-run Thunder lead to the current 4-1. Changeup missing high there.
I think compared to game number 1 that we saw against Randolph-Macon, she was really able to hone in on her craft with runners on base. I think that was something that she struggled with in the top of that inning. So today, for her to continue to be working out of tough situations is huge.
Over to first. No trouble for Tucker on out number 1. Back to the top of the order now, and Whitney Duel coming up.
Just to say, Tucker's definitely somebody that you can trust on whether she's at the box or fielding.
I've seen her both as a first baseman and a designated player. Either way, making an impact at the plate, as you would imagine, the ODAC Rookie of the Year. Tucker came in hitting just shy of 500. Second most runs batted in nationally for the freshman. So Duel up, 0 for 2 is the Thunder's second baseman. I mentioned that first game against Randolph-Macon, Virginia Wesleyan fell to their conference foe 6-2 in that one. As this is over to Hudgens at short, Fields fires 6-3 route number 2.
Lauren Bible making quick work of this Thunder lineup here today, especially in this inning. I just think that says a lot about her, that she's able to bounce back after that 2-run home run, even able to sprinkle strikeouts all throughout that inning there in the 4th, recording 3.
So a big at bat here for Joe Trine and the Thunder as the right fielder digs in, is 0 for 2. A ground out and a strikeout in as many at bats. Trying to get a 3-up, 3-down inning. Trine, all runs coming in even numbered innings. They have gone in order in the odd. Make of that what you will. There are no superstitious people in hardball. None whatsoever. All these things that I'm not allowed to say.
You did a great job, though. You know, like you're not testing fate in any way or the softball gods, which is good.
I get the side eye from Jenna anytime I get even close to saying one of those things, as Trine unable to locate that inside for strike 1.
Don't worry, I'll keep you honest up here, kid.
Just glad you don't have a bat in the booth.
I do have party hats, but not the bats.
We definitely have party hats, and for you. We have that to thank. Trine stepping out, and Bible out of the circle, taking her time. Big at bat here. Bible just trying to do her part, and she has. Trying a piece of it to even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Markham, the star first baseman, waiting on deck if Trine is able to get aboard and continue the inning.
Bible today, I feel like she's just doing a phenomenal job when it comes to mixing speeds. I think typically what she likes to do is mix locations. So for her today, it's just fun to see that she's able to pull through with something different and give a different view.
Joe Trine off the hands. It'll stay in the infield. Deitch underneath it. 3 up, 3 down go the Thunder in the bottom of the 5th. Still Trine on top, 4-1 as we head to the 6th. Time starting to become a factor for the Marlins here in Game 1. Top of the 6th, 3, 4, and 5 coming up for the Marlins to face Alexis Michon. Michon, through the first 5 innings, has given up just 1 run and 4 hits. That lone run came back in the first, and he has not been able to follow it up since. Time starting to become a factor. We'll see what the big bats in the Marlins lineup can say about that. Game 1, best of 3 game series between these two sides, a national championship on the line. Obviously, coming away with that first game, such a huge advantage. And that is exactly what Trine is looking to do behind the arm of the star senior from the Constitution State, Alexis Michon. Lined out, Buyer there is Campbell. Conference Player of the Year takes the first pitch for out number 1.
Campbell came in with a chip on her shoulder, striking out in the 3rd inning, so made quick work, wanted to jump on Michon early, has the pop, but Bayer just barely holding on there. Phenomenal grab for out number 1.
Bayer doing her job, and now Morgan Tucker to the plate. Tucker responsible for the lone Marlins run, a RBI sacrifice fly in her first at bat. Michon able to get Campbell to go down quickly ahead of her. See if she can get Tucker to follow suit here. That would be 2 huge outs. Tucker watches it paint the outside corner, 1-1.
Tucker, the presence that she has in the batter's box, you would not think that she is a freshman here playing in this game, and especially over the course of the season, just continuing to break records and boost her stats.
She's done an amazing job. 490 average, 75 runs batted in. That is 2nd in the country in RBI. Talk about a first year for the Dinwiddie, Virginia native. A very bright future, but she does not want to have to wait. Taking the short trip to Virginia Beach for her collegiate career. What can she do here? 1-2. Michon wastes the pitch there, and why not in that situation?
I think for Tucker, too, you know, she has that great balance of being aggressive while also staying poised in the box. She's batting .500 against All-Americans, so I think that just continues to show in her efforts every time she steps up to the plate.
Outside again. Now the count full to Tucker. See if she has the advantage in this situation.
And even able to spoil off one of those rise balls that we saw by Michon earlier in the count. I mean, just the fact that she was able to turn on it so quickly and get some lift working from that side of the batter's box just shows her fast hands.
Tucker chops the payoff pitch over to second. Nicely fielded by Duel 4-3 for out number 2.
You said it there, kid. That was good footwork over by Duel, able to work back out of the turf there to make that one.
The turf infield, the natural grass outfield. There is a layer of turf that goes right behind the infield. Seen a few players difficult backtracking. That was not the case for Duel in that situation. A beautiful stadium here, Carol Willis Park at Inspiration Field. As Mackenzie Myers, Marlins third baseman now at the plate with 2 down. Do not want to go in order. That means they would be down to their final 3 outs. And hoping Trine is not able to extend this lead when they come up in the bottom of the 6th. Slow roller. Fire comes in from short across. 6-3 as the Marlins go in order in the top of the inning. Now the Thunder trying to extend their lead as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th, Trine looking to extend their 3-run lead before the Marlins come to bat, possibly for the final time here in Game 1 of our best-of-3 championship between Virginia Wesleyan and Trine, both looking to bring another title home. Tyler Markham, first baseman for the Thunder, leading things off in the 3-hole. Debbie Hill and Macy Rocha will follow. Markham 0 for 2, a fly out and a strikeout looking. That led off the 4th in her last at bat. Fouls it back, evens it 1-1 here to Bible. Both these teams coming in knowing what's at stake, both throwing their aces. Lauren Bible and her counterpart, Alexis Michon. Similar in hits, 4 for the Marlins, 5 for the Thunder. The difference in runs, and what a huge difference that is, as this is going to go a lead-off single for Markham, her first hit of the ball game. The Thunder with a runner aboard to start the inning.
That's exactly what Trine needs here as they try to continue to add runs to the board in this very highly anticipated matchup. Markham just able to golf that off-speed pitch over there to the right side of the field, makes it look easy.
There will be a pinch runner in place of Markham at first as Maddie Cortez comes on, the freshman, Illinois native. Party hats, again, I don't know that they're ever taken off in the dugout, but they are definitely enjoying themselves, as you would imagine, and they will more so if Hill is able to extend their 3-run lead. Hill 1 for 2, doubled off the wall in left center in her last at bat. This is certainly who you want at the plate if you're the Thunder. Watches the initial offering for a strike, does Hill.
Cortez over at first base. That's a phenomenal opportunity for a freshman to get some experience out on the base pass. You have some cushion with the run, so really she just gets to excel when it comes to executing with her high IQ and probably getting some movement, especially with a tough bat here like Hill. You know, something is typically bound to happen.
1-1 to Hill. A great matchup between Bible and Hill, one of the best pitchers and best hitters in the country. The Hill underneath it. It'll stay in play, and nicely done, Campbell. The wind swirling and really moving that one around, but Lacey Campbell able to make the out. It'll bring Macy Rocha to the plate with 1 down, 1 away. Last time Rocha was up, a 2-run home run over the right field wall. Made it 4-1 where our scoreline currently stands.
Rocha able to work that one the opposite way. So Lauren Bible here will be testing what she can pull from her arsenal and how she needs to attack the zone against this talented hitter.
Rocha takes the first pitch inside. Rocha with her 10th home run of the season. A huge blast there. What can she follow it up with? She's 2 for 2. Singled her first time up. Good eye. She's ahead 2-0.
And as a good talking point there, Kit, with those 10 home runs, that's nearly half of what the Marlins lineup has been able to do over the course of the entire season. So I think that really just shows that these Thunder bats, they know how to pack a punch when they get an opportunity to barrel up balls.
Now 3-0. Marlins came in 18 home runs. They've had 6 here in the championship. They've been very good here. Conversely, on the other end of things, 72 home runs hit by the Thunder this season. Rocha draws the walk on 4 pitches. And the star third baseman heads to first. 2 aboard for the Thunder.
At the end of the day, that's not a bad scenario. If you're the arm in the circle here against a bat like Rocha, this is a tough situation to be in. What I've liked about Bible so far, when there's been runners on base, she has been able to hit her spots. I think in that game 1 against Randolph-Macon that ended their undefeated streak here in the tournament, she really struggled with that, keeping balls near the strike zone. They would skid along the top of the turf. And that can always be lethal with pass balls. We've seen runners take advantage of that over the course here of the championship.
Thunder center fielder Emma Lee at the plate, 1 for 2. Struck out looking her last time up. 2 on and just 1 out. Lee taking there to even the count. But a golden opportunity for Lee and the Thunder to extend this lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Really put the pressure on the shoulders of the Marlins. Lee, that one hit her. So Lee heads to first to load the bases for Trine, with Emma Byer coming to the plate. 1 out, bases juiced.
She's taking a moment here to talk with her starting arm with Bible. This is one of those moments where you need a friend there, right? This team always likes to keep it serious, so when it comes to executing a game plan with Coach Bree Cooper, they're entering the circle now, who's done a phenomenal job with this pitching staff over the course of her tenure here.
Brendan Elliott, 19th season in charge, has won 3 national championships. Brianna Cooper, Jim Quinn, Chris Smith, and Jenna Wilson rounding out the staff there in Virginia Beach. One of the most consistent teams in Division III softball over the last decade, if not 2. First title in 2017, won another in 2018. Picked up there at last in 2021, beating Texas Lutheran 9-1. I saw the Bulldogs here. Wade Wilson's side eliminated early this week. Now Byer at the plate. Takes the first pitch. And it's snagged by the right fielder, Piotrowski. But coming in and sliding headfirst in makes it 5-1 for Trine. Cortez, the pinch runner, extends the lead. The sacrifice fly from Byer.
What I love about Byer's swing is the fact that she doesn't need to go all the way through to extension and follow through. She just packs a punch when she's ever able to square up on the ball. Sets up a phenomenal opportunity for the freshman over at third to tag up and dive in head first. That'll be 5-1 ball game.
Sellers now at the plate. A big cut on the rise for strike 1 from April Sellers. Still a chance here for trying to add more to it with 2 on. Sellers 0 for 1, struck out to end the 4th in her lone at bat. Sends this one deep left, and it's gone. April Sellers with her 3rd home run of the season. The 3-run shot makes it 8-1 Trine.
April Sellers getting it done in the batter's box with that 3-run blast. 8-1 ball game now. We're going to wind it back for you here. Pitch from Bible, able to adjust phenomenal hand-hip separation. Really has that torque in her swing when she coils and uncoils, and that just allows her to blow away the defense and send the ball over the left center wall.
Sellers had her 2nd home run of the season in that walk-off classic against the Wildcats of Linfield. She made it 2-0 early on, and now her 3rd second in as many games. Sellers hitting absolutely red hot here in the championship. A 7-run Thunder lead with the catcher Ainsley Phillips up to the plate. Phillips into right and into the glove of Piotrowski, but not before the damage. Byer, the RBI sac fly, and Sellers follows it up with a 3-run shot to make it 8-1 Thunder. Three-game series with a national title on the line. So it comes out tonight, Woodard and Piotrowski for the Marlins. Can they mount the comeback?
Michon, she's been absolutely stellar here in this circle, only limiting this Marlins lineup to 4 hits. They were only able to get 1 run up on the board so far in the ball game, and that was in the first. And truly, just having that run support that Michon has had, courtesy of her teammates over the course of this game, it just speaks volumes about how it can boost her confidence.
Olivia Knight, the catcher, at the plate. 1 for 2. Looped a single in her first at bat. Struck out swinging her last time up. The 200th strikeout of the year for Michon. Over to Byer at short. Byer's across. 6-3. Marlins just 2 outs to work with. We saw Trine mount an improbable comeback yesterday in their semifinal game 1, but they were only trailing by 3 coming in to the 7th. Able to come back, tied it at 9, and ultimately a walk-off 10-9 victory in 8 innings. A much deeper hole here for the Marlins. Jocelyn Woodard, the designated player. Strike 1.
Here for the Marlins, you can kind of tell that the energy has been sucked out of the dugout, right? I know it's a really tough hill to try to come out on top of, being down 8-1, but this is a team, when they do dig out deep, they pass the bats around, they can make things happen.
Piotrowski waiting on deck. There's 2 outs remaining here in the first game, and what a statement win this would be for Trine. They're able to hold on to this one.
Especially taking down the top offense in the nation in Linfield certainly helps that motivational factor.
Off the glove of Byer, tried to make the fantastic dabbing stab, did the shortstop, could not. So Woodard aboard, and you see her trying to fire up her dugout. She does her job, and we'll see if the rest of the lineup can follow.
That could be the moment again. It comes down to the spark, and there for Woodard, just absolutely crushing that ball. Shout out to Byer there. Phenomenal effort in range over the shortstop position.
Byer, 5'10", using every inch of that frame to put leather to it. Ultimately couldn't bring it in. As Piotrowski, the right fielder, New York State native, at the plate. Piotrowski 2 for 2. He's gotten hits in both her at-bats. 2 of the 5 hits the Marlins have found thus far today. Again, the Marlins struck first. They found their lone run back in the top of the first. And then a 2-run response from Trine in the bottom of the second, 2 more in the bottom of the fourth, and 4 more just moments ago in the bottom of the sixth.
I absolutely love this shot, Kit. You can see the back of the shirt there. Nobody cares. Work harder. And I think that they totally embody that. This is a team that has no excuses. They just continue to push themselves to be better.
I would say for Trine it would be nobody cares, party hat harder. That would be my motto for the Thunder, but take that with a grain of salt, if you will. Dennis Smith, pitching coach, out for a quick word with Alexis Michon. In all seriousness, though, they are a goal-oriented and result-oriented side. They have fun doing it. They work as hard as anyone, and the results speak for themselves.
We don't have an off day, but especially for the pitching staff, they'll keep it light. So yesterday what they were doing was just playing catch underhand to one another, just to kind of get some rhythm in, get some movement so that they're not completely crammed up for today. And I think that's something that also has paid off, just keeping it light and working hard.
Piotrowski finds herself ahead 2-0. Michon, the first strike of the at-bat. Did not see Michon in that victory over Linfield. That was a bit surprising after her impressive performances against Redlands and Rowan, but they have a deep battery of arms, and they did not elect to use Michon. As Linfield, they saw her earlier in the season. In fact, both teams' season opener. And due to the fact that they had seen her, the Wildcats, even though it was some months ago, they elected to go with some arms that Linfield had not seen, and that proved to be the right decision.
Right, and each of those pitchers are so different with what they bring in the circle and what they embody, so that mixing of speeds and location and just giving you a different look all throughout the game, Linfield bats didn't have time to adjust.
A team that hits long balls like no one else in Division III softball history, breaking their own record this year, ultimately found those 9 runs, but it was the 10 for Trine that did it in 8. Piotrowski back in with a full count. Calling time here, certainly knows what's at stake, wants to make sure that she's the one dictating this next pitch.
I'm glad to see Piotrowski's doing well too after kind of being jammed up over at first.
Off the hands, and this will travel into center. Coming over to her left is Emily. And the throw well over the head of Markham at first, but with 2 down, Woodard is going to stay put, at least for the time being. So down to the final out are the Marlins here in Game 1 of our best of 3 championship series. A title on the line tomorrow. Thunder fans on their feet. It's going to be Miranda Jenkins coming up, the senior from Washington, Virginia. Her first at bat of the ball game, pinch hitting in the 9-hole in place of Alexis Hudgens.
Jenkins could be the one to breathe life here into this Marlins lineup, right? A lot can happen with 2 outs. We've seen it in the game of softball as well as baseball. Right when you flip the switch, you can just continue to pound balls that you're seeing across the zone. We know that Alexis Michon, she is going to dig down deep and continue to execute the way that she has throughout this game. So it's a very welcome challenge here for Jenkins.
Jenkins' 48th bat of the season, .277 average. Senior up facing Michon. Thunder fans looking for this last out as Michon blows that one by her for the first pitch.
Working low in the zone, seeing that uptick in velocity, and still the ball just having miraculous movement. She is one tough cookie.
Jenkins underneath it. Rocha into foul territory, and the third baseman has it as Trine will take Game 1 in the best of 3 series, 8-1. Thunder on top of the Marlins. And now Trine just 1 game away from securing a second national championship in the last 3 years.
The bats are really firing on all cylinders here for Trine, but we typically saw that come through in just a few bats that really played the long ball, especially in Rocha, who not only just fields her position so well at third, but gets the job done in the batter's box. And don't let the score fool you here, 8-1 the final. It felt like it was such an even matchup throughout. There was so much tension in the air between every pitch, or every time fielders would go back to the dugouts to get ready to approach the plate. So we know that Virginia Wesleyan, they're going to take the time to game plan. They're going to have conversations. They have such a strong culture and depth to talent. They're such a well-rounded team. They're going to come back and answer in the fashion So a stellar matchup, and hats off here to Trine, getting the job done in the circle and at the plate.
Virginia Wesleyan will have to win 2 tomorrow to secure their 4th national championship. Trine, just 1 victory needed. We'll be back in action. Start things off at 11 a.m. local time, 11 a.m. Central tomorrow. A title on the line. Trine looking to make it another title after taking their first in 2023. We'll have it for you right here on NCAA.com. For our entire crew, for Jenna Rose, I'm Kit McConico saying goodbye from Carroll Lewis Park at Inspiration Field on the campus of Illinois Wesleyan University. The final in Game 1, Trine University Thunder on top of the Virginia Wesleyan Marlins 8-1.